What's wrong with him now?
People are stupid.
New video format.
All right. Fuck. Brain off! Big brain off times! And this
Oh,
can
God
stay in.
damn it.
Hey guys, my name is Big Nose. I'm sitting here with Mennonite and Candosi, and this is where Mennonite, in particular, will tell you why people are stupid. And I'm just here to keep him in line.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome to our new segment. People are stupid. Today we're talking about a wonderful, wonderful article that we found from AOC, or and I just know her as AOC. I don't know her actual name. I know it's Ocasio-Cortez.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Yes, that is annoying. Anyhow, yeah. So we found this wonderful article, and it's AOC wanting to defund government funds for military recruiting in both schools and online streaming platforms. And oh my God, is this article just absolutely retarded? And yes, I'm saying retarded. Sue me later. I don't give a fuck. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. Okay, so this is the Vice article. This is the original article from what we've been able to find. As you can see right there from the title, AOC introduces measures to stop military from recruiting on Twitch. Not just Twitch, it is also in schools, and the whole thing is just absolutely retarded. So the measure would prevent the military from using funds to maintain a presence on Twitch or any video game, esports, or live streaming platform. What in the hell does that mean? Like, I know what that means from like a word setup standpoint, but maintain a presence?
So think about it. Think about it like a Twitch streamer. Twitch streamers maintain a presence by streaming, or
Yeah, exactly.
it could even then just mean I'm going to run ads.
Right, and that's what I mean. Like, is it meaning that, you know, the military can't run like the Go Army ad or the Navy ad? Or does that mean, oh, military members can't be on Twitch, you know, whether or not it's in uniform or not, which also is a entirely separate military issue.
Yeah.
So not getting into that one, but like what are you talking about? Are you talking about ads? Like the Go Army ad, the Join the Army ad? Or are you talking about like people saying, oh yeah, I'm in the military, by the way, as I'm streaming, while I'm streaming COD or some bullshit? Like, what the hell do you mean by maintain a presence on Twitch or live streaming? English is important, god damn it. And this is why. You make confusing ass, stupid legislation.
Purposefully, I don't know English. I just know how talking.
All right, so we're going to scroll down here. So U.S. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez plans to file a measure that would prevent the military from using video games and esports as military recruitment tools. Again, what do you mean by that?
At that point, are you attacking the video games, aka Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, anything like that? Like, what are you attacking? Because those are just games that everyone's played.
Nobody joins the military because they played COD when they were 12. Like, there might be someone. I'm not going to say there isn't anyone. But the vast majority of people in the military don't join because they played Call of Duty, 2 back in the Xbox original days. Like, no one's like, oh, yes, that World War II game from the 2000s was so fun. I want to join the modern military. You just don't see that. At least not from any of the military friends I have. Maintaining peace and calmness right now. Channeling Zen through alcohol.
And this is what we do. Anyways.
So a draft amendment filed on July 2nd to the House Appropriations Bill would prevent the military from using funds appropriated by the bill to maintain a presence on twitch.com, which is twitch.tv, not twitch.com, you stupid idiot. I don't know why that was important, but yes, it's not twitch.com, it's twitch.tv.
Yep.
Once again,
Well,
being retarded.
a
Go ahead.
journalist should always look into stuff like that and find out whether or not they're citing things correctly. So yeah, actually, I would call them out on that too.
Yeah. So yeah, twitch.com, again, twitch.tv, or any other video game, esports, or live streaming platform. This is just a whole bunch of nonsense words. That's all it is. Just like, oh yeah, we're making it to where you don't longer get
Hey, let's
funding
attack
for this.
everything.
Yeah, like
They're saying, hey, let's attack everything.
this is so intentionally vague. I don't understand. And this is the problem with these kind of like vague legislation. Like if you just say, oh yes, we're banning, this thing right here, but I'm going to keep it intentionally vague. It's like, well, where does that end? Because you didn't give an end to it. You get it if you're saying like,
For
oh
instance,
yeah.
for instance, we're going to ban overly large magazines for firearms. What is overly large?
Oh yeah, what constitutes overly large? Or like, oh yeah, we're going to ban assault weapons. Well, what
That would be
constitutes an
something they
assault
would
weapon?
hide somewhere in the small print, so to speak, or just so deep in the bill that people have probably stopped reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are where they put those specifications.
But yeah, again, it's one of these things that nobody ever like reads like the fine print of these bills. You always read the very like beginning of the bill. Like, honest to God, I'm a huge constitutionalist, but even I haven't read the entire Constitution. I've read a lot of the Constitution, just not every small little paragraph of the Constitution. Because honest to God, I'm not like one of those old English literature majors, and I don't know constitutional law that well. I would turn to someone like Ben Shapiro to understand these. So again, that's not me. So I just read the stuff I can understand. That's kind of going into this. Like, you put the beginning of this bill super vague so you can just use it to justify, because nobody reads the cliff notes on legislation. To my knowledge, nobody does. We'll move along in this article. So the House of... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to point out another thing to think about with the quote, maintain a presence on twitch.com or any video game, blah, 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 blah. That, I don't know if it came directly from AOC or if it's a press release. And either way, yeah, it would be intentionally vague. Because at first, I was reading into this, was like, oh yeah, they're just trying to ban ads. But the more you talk, the more it's like, yeah, actually, you're right. They did make this really vague. But yeah, that might have come off a press release. That might not be from somebody reading the bill.
With that, what is a live streaming platform?
Because also
I can go live on Instagram,
YouTube, TikTok, YouTube,
Twitch,
Facebook.
You can go live on almost any
social media. So at that point, okay, so we can't recruit using social media, which means we can't run ads because it's a live streaming platform as well.
Well, and again, so it's like you say you want to ban military presence on these live streaming platforms because it can, quote, cause recruitment. So if you're just saying military presence, does that mean the military can't be on any social media platform ever? Again, you're being incredibly vague, and nobody has any idea what you actually mean by any of this.
I kind of have to wonder if she may not be aware of how vague she's being. Like, to her, it might make sense. She might think she's being specific enough, but then, people who actually stop and think about it have questions like this.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm understanding of this and what I've understood from our discussions beforehand, she's trying to say that doing these things is targeting low-income people.
Yeah, and I was going to get into that a little bit later on in the article, but yes, this whole idea is predicated on the idea that the military targets low-income individuals, which is partially true, right?
Yeah.
The amount of times I've been told, oh, yes, because, again, I'm in the Navy, right? I've been told, basically my entire career is that, oh, yes, if you're in the military, you have a lot of benefits, you're not necessarily making a whole lot of money in the military, but once you get out, there's plenty of opportunities, you get free college, free tuition, they'll help with all this. I mean, tuition assistance is a thing in the military. So I can go to college right now. I just need to fill out a form and have my CO sign off on it. Mm-hmm. Like, and then I can get tuition assistance. So there's a lot of benefits to joining the military, and that's something that is highly pushed while in recruiting. It's like, hey, do you want to like serve 4 to 6 years? Because I signed a 6-year contract. Do you want to serve 4 to 6 years, and then you basically get this
free
amount of
college.
money, free college, this amount of money to go to college while you're in, and on top of that, you'll have a lot of, depending on which
health
field
benefits.
you go into, health benefits and crap. What is the word? Job experience. Basically, there we go. Yeah, depending on your field, job experience.
Oh, job experience. Yeah,
right,
so basically, they market it to lower income people as an opportunity. Yes, the military does market itself towards low income people. At the same time, those low income people are the ones who need it more. They're the ones who need to have the job experience, to have the funding in order to pay bills, in order to start getting on their feet with the money and all of that. That's where it's going. And most of the people I know in the military all come from lower middle class.
I will point out that some people feel like that's really that's unfair, because they feel like they're not given an option to do anything else, which actually is more of an economic thing than this. But they feel like they can't afford to do anything other than go into the military. And I think that's the angle AOC is trying to go at this from. I think she's got fairness in mind.
She's going about it the complete wrong way then. Because if she's coming at it from the economic point of view in which, hey, this isn't fair, there's no other option. At that point, get finances in check and make sure that people can actually go to trade school. People can actually go to college. People can go get jobs. People know how to get jobs. Make sure that kind of knowledge is made aware of for the general populace.
Well, and go ahead.
If you don't have access to some opportunities, because I know some people really don't, create opportunities for people. I don't know. Well, you can't remove something and not replace it with something else, if that makes sense. So.
And here's why I think it's less of, you're trying to be fair to people, and I think it's more of I'm not going to say necessarily a sinister plot, but I think there is some like underhandedness to all of this. If you look at what I highlighted on the screen, it's incredibly irresponsible for the Army and Navy to be recruiting impressionable young people and children via live streaming platforms. The vast majority of the military is made up of people from 18 to 25. So one would argue that most of the people that join the military are young, impressionable people. Again, what do you mean it's incredibly irresponsible to recruit these kids?
Because I could tell you, the Navy straight up says, hey, we'd prefer you be younger than 25, but you can't be any younger than 18, just because prime of your life in terms of physical capabilities in order to do your job.
Well, and does she want the military to be made of people that are above the age of 35? Because the military is a hard, demanding life. Yeah, no, it's like the military is a hard, demanding lifestyle.
Yes.
There have been many days where I've only gotten, 3-4 hours of sleep, and I've had to work 14, 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put anyone on blast, that's over the age of 35, but how many people can realistically do that? Just pick some random person off the street.
I mean, besides the 35-year-olds who've been doing it since they were 18 in the military.
Yeah, I can comment as somebody who's just getting close to 30. There's no way I could. There's no damn way. So.
I just hit 21. I can still last off of 2 hours of sleep.
Oh, yeah. 2 hours of sleep, take a quick nap, do it, 36-hour day. I can still do that. I can't necessarily do it, multiple days in a row anymore, but I can still do it.
I can do it 2 or 3 days in a row, but I digress.
Yeah.
And the quote that comes after it, War is not a game, and the Marine Corps' decision to not engage in this recruiting tool should be a clear signal to the other branches of the military to cease this practice entirely.
I find it funny that she says war is not a game. Because she's the same person, and mind you, I'm going to get a little bit political, a little bit controversial here. Ooh, surprisingly enough. She's the same person that says you need to go out and demands that you go out and support BLM, the organization, not the movement, the organization. I will be very clear here, the terrorist organization that is BLM, because if you understand the definition of terrorism, it's spreading fear to get political gain. So BLM as an organization is very much terrorist. That being said, she's the person that will say, oh, you're racist if you don't go out and support them and go out and violently riot and loot and burn down half your city. You want to say war's not a game and yet you're doing that bullshit? And going in, be like, oh, well, the Marine Corps doesn't do it. Yeah, the Marine Corps does a lot of crap that the other branches of the military don't do.
Like eat crayons.
Right, like eat crayons. But more specifically, I'm not going to be in a foxhole. I'm in the Navy. I'm on a submarine. Like, there are no foxholes on a submarine.
Yep.
Just don't get half her freaking quotes. And I was agree. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
No, I was just going to say, I do think, now it comes from my own perspective, obviously, and I'm not military, so I do have a different perspective. I think she's well-meaning in nature. Like I kind of said earlier, she just doesn't seem to have quite enough understanding to go about fixing the problems she sees.
Yes.
But I do think she means well.
So basically, the whole point of this, and I'm fairly certain unless you want to pull up other articles, because we've discussed basically all of it.
I was wanting to pull up the Military Times article. There was just that last little tidbit, this one, before we moved over to that one, just because there was a few more quotes in the Military Times, which is why I wanted to cover that as well. But it says the U.S. Army, Navy, and Air Force all run esports teams, which we all laughed about, via Twitch. The Army and Navy both banned viewers from their channels for discussing American war crimes. The ACLU said the move may have violated the First Amendment, and the Knight First Amendment Institute has sent letters to the Army and Navy and telling them to stop censoring Twitch viewers. So first off, call this a little conspiratorial if you want to, but take this from someone who has been on the internet for, I forget how many years by this point. I was doing the internet when dial-up was around, okay? In AOL chat rooms, that was the internet. I remember those days. I'm sure Kendosi remember those days as well. Nate, not so much. He's the young fuck.
I am the young fuck.
The young fuck of this organization. But
I remember some of it, but I digress.
But yeah, no, take it from a learned experience. When organizations like Vice in this article say, oh yeah, the Army and the Navy and the Air Force banned viewers because they were discussing American war crimes, it was some of those clickbaity titles that you always hear, like, oh yeah, those early American colonists, gave out smallpox blankets, which is historically inaccurate. You don't want to talk about like how not technically speaking, how earlier in January, when the United States killed that Iranian general, and everyone said that was a war crime. No, it wasn't a war crime. That Iranian general was funding a terrorist organization, which is why we took him out.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, from a learned experience on being on the internet for up to how many years, that's what they're talking about. A bunch of clickbaity nonsense that doesn't mean anything. All right. So we're going to look for a quick quote over in the Military Times. I'll probably cut it and we'll meet you right back pretty soon. So give us half a second. All right, and we're back. So slight correction. We're actually on the Hill, not the Military Times, because the quote we found was on the Hill. And I am stupid, but that's okay. I'm not as dumb as these people.
No. To be fair, we read several articles, and Military Times was one of them. So
yes. But the Military Times did say a lot of the stuff as the Vice article. It was a lot of the same quotes and just expounded on it differently than how the Vice did. We'll put a link in there as well down in the description so you can see that, we're all reading multiple sources.
Or Google it.
Or just Google it. I don't really care. GTS, that's a military phrase for you.
Good ass shit.
Good ass shit. All right. So it says, statement to the New York Times, first-term lawmaker explained the amendment are intended to curb the trend of military recruiting targeting low-income students. Whether through recruitment stations in the lunchrooms or now through esports teams, children in low-income communities are persistently targeted for enlistment. I just wanted to cover this real quick because, again, I grew up lower middle class, which means that, we didn't have, the latest gadgets, but we also didn't live in a shack in the woods. We had a roof over our heads. We had a flip phone so I can call my parents on my 2-mile walk home from school. Not that I'm trying to be that person, but still, we didn't have the newest gadgets. I didn't have DirecTV. We didn't have Wi-Fi until way later down the road when my parents made, pay increases and all that. But also at the same time, what we didn't have was Pell Grant or other low-income funding for schools. So, and later on it talks about, if I can find it real quick, yes, right here. Low-income Americans are not being given anywhere near the same information or access to trade schools, college, or other postgraduate opportunities. Neither was I. And neither was half my high school who were in the same boat as me. And the military, you know how many times I was told, oh, hey, the military is a viable option for a career choice after high school? Once, and it was in my U.S. government course, my junior year of high school. It might have been my senior year. I want to say it was junior year.
So I've been homeschooled for 12 years. I had access to looking for these things, and it's not necessarily just, oh, these options are being provided. It's, hey, these are your options. And what really should be done to fix this thing is to revamp the school system.
100%.
Revamp the school system. Teach kids how to actually do things that matter. Not saying geometry doesn't matter, because for some jobs it does. But teach kids how to find jobs. Teach kids how to use Google. Teach kids that kind of thing. That's my education rant.
Better yet, get rid of No Child Left Behind, which we all have seen has just horribly mutilated the goddamn school systems.
Yep.
Because No Child Left Behind, literally, and this is exactly how my high school experience went, and many others across America, it was, hey, do high school, go to a 4-year university. That was the path. You want to say, oh, yes, low-income students are told, go to high school, join the military. That's not true. It's go to high school, get a school loan, go put yourself in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and, that's the path that is predestined for you. They don't talk about trade schools. They don't talk about, other postgraduate opportunities. It is exclusively college. Think about the last 8 years of the Democratic talking points. It's free college, free college, free college, get a bachelor's degree, free college, get a bachelor's degree. Military is hardly pushed at all ever. To the point where recruiting is one of the more difficult positions as far as an admin position in the military. So I don't know where AOC is getting this information either. That being said, we're going to go ahead and drop out of these articles real quick. Do a quick little outro.
Long story short, because I'm going to say Minnow is rather upset.
My blood pressure.
Long story short, people are stupid.
People are stupid.
People are very stupid.
So,
and that's the moral of this story.
100%.
Now, this ain't no new breaking news. This is people are fucking stupid.
If you guys have any other things that you want us to react to, go ahead and put them in the comments below. Or or big or, you can click the link down below and join up in the Discourse Bar Discord server, where we have plenty more of these kind of conversations all day long, every day of the week, 24/7. We'd love to have you in. And again, if you want us to react to something, go ahead and post a link. You can post links. Can't post pictures. That's an entire story. So,
Anywho. Yeah.
Anyways, I've been Mennonite.
Big nose.
Kendoku.
And that was People Are Stupid. Y'all have a good night.